Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to TED Talks Ball. Got a special Thursday afternoon edition, a special call-in show edition. So if I know you, if you've been on before, or someone I've interacted a lot with that I trust, feel free to click the link. It's in the comments. Come on up, and I'll be glad to add you to the show. Let's see here. Just finishing up a couple of quick details. Reposting and whatnot, getting the word out that the show has begun. But so my goal today was to, talk a little bit about what's been going on this offseason and see what people think. Looks like Shell is here, so I'll bring her up in just 1 second. Got Bryant Culp in the house as well, saying let's go Niners. Let's go Bryant. Let's bring Reg Shell up. Let me get rid of this overlay since it's a single pane. There, we'll go to the Levi's from the NFC Championship game. Hey, it's our first time seeing together, isn't it?
How
are you?
How are you? Me? How are you? I finally get to talk to you.
Yeah. I know we were gonna try and meet at one of those last few games. Was it the Green Bay Packers game? You were there?
Was it I think it was the Seahawks game. I only went to two, so it was Seahawks, and then I went to the Christmas game against the Ravens.
Yeah, I was out of town for Christmas, so it definitely wasn't that one.
Okay.
Right on. Well, welcome to the show, and come on, you're one of my most loyal audience members and a member of TED Talks Ball.
You're growing and you're expanding, and the smile, I love it.
Oh, stop. Well, I'm in a good mood because I've been losing some weight. I've been doing the pump track with my son, and then I got
awesome.
My old e-bike and got that running. Everybody's like, e-bike? That's not exercise. I'm like, yeah, it is. When you weigh 300 pounds, like that's just a little bit to help you.
Yeah, right. When you get a certain age, it's like it just adds up, and it's like, what do you do? Like, do you drink more water? Do you lay off the sugar, the salt? I'm 44, so I'm like, at this point, whatever works. Okay.
Yeah,
how about just de-stress, detox, right?
Yeah, I'll be 54 in September, so yeah.
Get out of here! No, Ted turning 50. That is unbelievable. I shan't believe
50 for a minute. Yeah, no.
What?
And so so when I'm not out riding with my son, then I'm out riding solo on the e-bike. Rode up to from El Camino and like Menlo Park, Palo Alto area. Up to Filoli and did the
that's a distance. Yeah,
his preschool's up in Portola Valley. I went up at Portola Valley Town Center up there. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
so it's been good. It's been good. And then like today, I had a big bowl of pho full of like jalapenos and sriracha, and then my wife has these
acid reflux waiting to happen, Ted.
Yeah,
come on now.
My wife has these energy drinks called Celsius. I don't know if anybody's heard of these things, but they've got 200 milligrams of caffeine. So it's about a cup and a half of coffee worth of caffeine and some vitamins, or as the Brits say,
come on now.
49.50.
We only in the off season do we go off, right?
Yeah. So like I've been working out. I had some, hot food or spicy food gives you some energy, and then also energy drink. So I'm flying high right now.
Yeah. I was gonna say you bounce. I'm just wondering which one is bouncing off the wall more, you or your children. I'm gonna say you.
Yeah. Oh no, it's almost nap time for my son, so he's starting to.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's definitely you. It's definitely you.
Especially after that energy drink. But So I was wanting to get people's opinions on free agency. What's been going on? Obviously, the departure of Eric Armstead. Some people are happy about it. Others are less happy. Some people are kind of in the middle. The signings, what you thought of those. And then obviously Eric Kendricks. I don't think anyone's too happy about him leaving us for the Cowboys. So,
I mean, one more year, more money. I get it. No taxes, no state taxes. I totally get it. Being in the Bay Area myself. Yeah, I totally understand. It's like, do what you got to do.
Could be a political thing
wherever
too.
your career will thrive, go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Could be a red state, blue state thing too, right?
Yeah, there's that. Oh God, do we have to go? I don't want to go there. Let's go purple.
There
Nice,
you go.
nice
Yeah,
neutral.
stay out
Red
of
and
it.
blue make purple. Let's stay out of it.
I keep my opinions out of it, but it's definitely something that the players. I think some of them are just like regular people. Some people are really into politics. Some people aren't. I think the same thing with players. Some players don't really care. Yeah. Some it's very important to them. So so let's see here. We got Bryant in the house. He says he'll call in shortly. Nice. So I guess we'll be seeing him soon. We got Joe in the house. He says, "You see the Armstead contract?" No, I didn't even see that. So
no, I did not.
I could just type Eric, right? There's no ARIKs that I know of. Oh, Jags, 3-year, 51 mil. So they pretty much stuck on his 17 mil. Wait, is that 17? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
17 mil. So that's basically what he was getting from us. Good for Eric.
Good for him. Go for it. Yeah. This league is not for long anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, well, let me ask you first what you think, rather than interjecting my feelings on it.
As far as Armstead, I'll just start there. I hated to see him go, but I understand this is a business, and I understand that it has been 9 years, and it hasn't been like awful 9 years. No, of course not. It hasn't been exceptional. He's had exceptional moments. Not gonna lie, that's just me. We do understand too that Father Time was creeping up, or it's starting to creep up, and we know that when you get to a certain age and they start to evaluate that and question that a little bit more, like it's more under the microscope. To me, so in that sense, it was just like, yeah, I kind of see what they were doing. With far as Kendricks, again, more money, another year. Can't really say no to that. As far as our pickups, hey Jason, as far as our pickups that we did get, I'm pretty pleased. I'm not I mean, we did just get started, so there's no pickups on offense yet, but that's kind of where the draft would come in or play more into focus, as far as what I think so far. I think they picked up some good people, some people that haven't missed any games, which is great, and they've been upright, meaning healthy. So I'm pretty excited to see how they fare with the rest of the team, schemes, play calls, how they mesh, how they pick things up, because every team has a different way of doing things, of course. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out. But again, it did just get started, so that's what I think about it, about everything.
I like it. Sounds good. It's pretty much the way I feel. Let me fix my mic here. Sort of, I usually like it there, where it's kind of pointing at the neon sign. So it catches me a little more. All right, there we go. Interesting. All right. So for me, yeah, I'm kind of in the middle on Eric Armstead. If he plays like he played every year, but maybe the last 2 years with the injuries, then I'm gonna be really bummed. He's a hell of a player. I don't think anyone we got, even those statistics for Malik Davis, was it Malik?
Malik Collins.
Collins with a C, yeah. The stats look kind of similar, but I don't think he's the same type of player, impact player that Eric Armstead, a healthy Eric Armstead is. Or I also don't think you get him for 7th, even with a D'Amico discount. But Eric's been injured. Like he just hurt his meniscus, his plantar fasciitis the last 2 years. And to my knowledge, plantar fasciitis is not progressive, but it's chronic. It never really goes away. You never know when it's going to pop up, but you can be pretty sure that it will pop up again. And for a big, tall guy like him, it's tough.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stress on that foot when he's pass rushing up the middle or off the edge. Real quick, let's call out some folks that were here. Jesus says Jesus M says thus far C+. Did the Niners bolster D-line? Now, I don't think we're done on D-line. I'll say that. Definitely not. I think we'll draft more, and I think we'll maybe talk about Joey Bosa or perhaps I'm blanking on the guy's name from the Raiders.
Khalil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Bears to the Chargers. That's who I'd rather have of the two, honestly. if price was the same, even though he's a little older.
Yeah.
I think it's like he's been doing a little bit better recently. But yeah, I don't think we're done yet, Jesus. So let's not look at it.
I don't think so either. Yeah. But it was kind of good for the Chargers to restructure both of them to stay. So I think that's awesome. I think that they're going to work very well with Harbaugh. I think that's going to be.
Oh, they did. So Joey and Khalil Mack are both okay.
Yep.
I haven't been caught up on today's stuff, obviously.
Me either. I'm just kind of looking around and looking at other shows, and then looking at I kind of get these little alerts, so I'm like kind of like, oh, okay, that's what happened.
There you go.
Because I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I wouldn't know one way or the other. Because a lot of these people are not on Instagram; they're mostly, Twitter and Facebook heads. So
right,
you know how that goes. So yeah.
No, I was out riding with my son, so I missed all.
You were having fun today. You were having a great day today.
Getting in better shape is the key. So losing some weight slowly. So that'd be nice.
Feel better, feel better, be healthy, sleep better. No, be well. This is the time to do it. Enjoy it, and hopefully you're not, getting this nasty cold bug that's been going around, because it is just like, oh, it's such a drag. I'm just recovering from it myself. So yeah, but
my son has a little cough. Yeah, we got Jason, Captain Niner Massey, saying Talofa Faithful. Welcome, Jason. Thanks for being here. That means hello, Faithful and Samoan.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesus was just lifting off Beal, Drake Jackson, Clea Davis must play, even if there are growing pains. Yeah, as of right now, that's the case. We'll see after the draft and once the roster is finalized. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the house. He has his own channel. Make sure you check him out. Saying afternoon. He is a Rams fan, but he's pretty cool. So I would be cool back to him and tell him that, congrats to the Rams. Looks like they built themselves a hell of an O-line. I wish Kyle would learn from. I'm
so simpatico with you on that. So on the same page. I'm just like, okay, we're getting these great pieces. I mean, defense has always been a little more. It's almost kind of been a pendulum shift to me. And I'm like, okay, you have these pieces, but you have Brock Purdy upright for one more second so he's not looking like a deer caught in the headlights. This is kind of like no excuse for that. I mean, he's a good player. No, he's not elite. No, he's not the MVP yet. I'm the MVP. You're the MVP. That is my argument, and I'm sticking with it. But if you give him more time, he has more time to kind of think it through, have that, calm come to Jesus moment, and just do what he needs to do and execute. If you have to throw it away, fine, you have to throw it away, but don't take a sack and don't turn it over. That's what we don't want. But we also don't want him going, oh my God, what do I do? What I do? Like it's his first day on the job. We don't want that either. So
yeah, and just like for Brock, I feel like the big key is, you don't want his offensive lineman in his lap, because then he's throwing off his back foot and he just doesn't have the arm to make up for not being able to step into the ball well. So to those off-platform, fading away backward jump shots, that's not a club that is in Brock's bag. Let's just say. Jesus says, also while we're still on Daniel Berry and the Rams, I think I saw they got Darius Williams back. I know he's been playing at a really high level. Their corner. And that was one of the guys a few years back when they lost him. I was like, oh, that's going to hurt. And like, oh, we won't miss Darius Williams. And they got him back. Won't miss John Johnson. They got him back. There's been a few boomerang / whatever you want to call them, retreads for the Rams. But Darius Williams, I think, is a good get for them. He's a good player. So I would say congrats to them. For now, since it's off season, I can congrats the Rams. As soon as we get close to the season, it's back to war. I think they're going to be our biggest competition in the NFC West again. I'm not seeing the Seahawks do anything that impresses me so far.
Right. I don't see them being a threat at all. I think it's going to be us against the Rams. It could be a little Cardinals sprinkled in, but I don't, I think it's going to be, our real nemesis now is the Rams. I think it's the last couple of seasons it's been the Rams over the Seahawks, because we obviously have figured them out. Like they had us figured out for so long with, Wilson and Cam Chancellor and, Skittles, and he just had weapons every which way. Like that's the offensive line that we need. we need somebody to where Russell Wilson could take 5 minutes and still, still throw a 30, 40-yard bomb and make a touchdown. And we're just sitting there like, what happened? That's the kind of offensive line that I think that we need. I don't want to say the dream team, but we could use the dream team light, in my opinion. But I hope that's the case in draft. But being a fan, how much do we really know, right? So
not much. The Niners always do something different than what we think. That's for sure.
Right.
He says 30 years old in the NFL is like being 40, wear and tear. Yeah, there's some truth to that. We got 187 in the house. It says bang bang Niner gang. Welcome 187. Thanks for joining. Daniel saying hi to Jason. Sorry, saying hi to Daniel in 187. Jesus saying, I'm sure Joey Bosa wanted to play for Jim Harbaugh.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know though. I mean, Ohio State, Michigan, really? I don't know. That seems like all of them.
We can all get along, right?
I guess, yeah. When you're a pro, you kind of just look at
right, kind of like put that aside.
Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh's a cool coach. I mean, I definitely respect him. I like him. I like Kyle better, but not by a ton. I mean, it's not like a country mile. Or anything like that. Exactly. We got Rick Diaz in the house. Very interesting. Yeah, no, it makes it more fun. I did a few weeks back, and I normally today I do my Faithful Dogs show with Big Mike from the Man Cave, but he's getting over flu and his voice is all jacked up.
Yeah, he's going through it pretty bad, poor thing.
Yeah, so I was like, hey,
send him our thoughts, because it is not. It's everybody is catching it one way or fashion or the other. So
yeah, and so I just figured do another call-in show, see who shows up, and sort of get everybody's opinions and feelings, whether you're in the audience or if you're actually on the show. Looks like Anshul's here, so I'll bring him up as well too. From 49er Media. He said, hey here, hey Ted, and how you can say hey Ted in person.
There he is. Well, Ted. Anshul, I'm gonna let you take over. Good to meet you and finally see you, Ted. Oh my God.
We'll have to do this again.
Love you, Anshul. Yes, we will. We have to do it again.
Yeah, come on and just be an exclusive special guest.
Oh, yeah, say less. Anshul, take care. Bye, Ted. Go Niners.
Go Niners. What's up, Anshul? How you doing, bud?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Can't complain. Just trying to figure out how I feel about the free agency process so far. When we went into it, we had some big names in mind. Mm-hmm. I mean, even I think the name Chris Jones came up some here or there. Not realistically, but like I said, Levante David a lot, and then we did Eric Kendricks, and that was a little bit of a step down. And then he bolted. So now we definitely have a glaring need, unless something happened today, at linebacker. But I would love to get your thoughts, Anshul, on Eric Armstead. I mean, he obviously had a long career here. He was the last of the pre-Shanahan Lynch, players that came before Kyle and John Lynch. But how are you feeling about losing him?
Yeah, I'd seen reports about it. I think Mike Silver had reported about it, and I was like, there's no way I could see that happening, because I'm just like, the Niners still are in that Super Bowl window, and I'm like, there's no way they'd move off of him. But also we don't know that Malik, or sorry, the guy that we ended up trading for, right?
Malik Collins.
Yeah, Malik Collins. We didn't know he was available. So I mean, sometimes you don't know these things. I'm sure the Niners kind of knew that. So honestly, it sucks, but Armstead was a great person, and I get it. He didn't want to take that pay cut, especially, he's been on TikTok a lot doing all those, run throughs about his paycheck and stuff. And I'm not surprised. I'm a little bit surprised he went to the Jags, because doesn't Texas not have tax either?
I think I don't know. I'm sure I know it's lower. That's for sure. If there is any at all, I know Florida doesn't have tax.
So I could get that because he's gonna get majority of his, he's gonna get his money now because he doesn't have to deal with taxes. So I guess maybe money was more interested, to him than just winning, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he got 17 million a year from the Jags, just like he was getting from us, good for him. I mean, I certainly wouldn't pay him. I'm not sure that I was thinking he was living up to that even when he was staying healthy, let alone injured. So I think it's kind of a win-win. I think it's good for the Niners to get out from under it. I think it's good for Eric Armstead to keep making a ton of dough. I just don't think that any real contender, would pay him that kind of money.
Yeah.
But, I'm thankful for him. He had a long career here. He's a great leader, great in the community. Very underrated player. Like his statistics didn't tell the whole story of the impact that he had on the football field. A lot of it was the statistics of the linebackers behind him who he kept clean, which include Fred and Dre and even Aziz when he was here. So,
I mean, I don't expect defensive tackles in general, like beside Aaron Donald, I guess, like maybe Chris Jones. There's not too many defensive tackles that are gonna have crazy amount of sacks anyways, and that's okay. And I think that's why kind of going over some of the other moves that we've made. I absolutely like those signings in Leonard Floyd, Yutur Gross Matos. I think is a pretty solid piece. Did they sign anyone else on the edge? I'm trying to think, but I know defensive tackle wise, they obviously traded for Malik Collins, and
we signed Jordan Elliott.
Oh yeah, Jordan.
Not streaming. Niners content creator, reporter,
not Splash Cousins. Yep.
Not Splash Cousin. The Splash Cousin. Yeah, no, it was.
And then Kevin Gibbons.
He's a ex-Brown defensive tackle. Good solid depth piece. So basically, you got Jordan Elliott replacing Kinlaw. You got supposedly Malik Collins replacing Eric Armstead. I don't think he quite does, but I do think you get where you're not. You have more of a rotation, and it's not just like a front four and then not much really behind them. I think Floyd is real good. And the nice thing is all these guys are very durable. And that's, knock on wood. You never know. It's a violent sport. Anything can happen. But during the last few years, they've all been very durable. And so it's good to see a focus on that for sure. So obviously we both seem to like the D-line stuff. And like I said, I don't think we're finished. I think we'll see a few other things go on, especially in the draft. Kinlaw, I was definitely sad to see go. Being at camp last summer, all 9 open practices. I mean, Kinlaw was one of the standouts from camp for sure. It was like Ayuk was the biggest, and Kinlaw was probably the second biggest, and Conley was another big one. And we saw him sort of show up at the end of the season and in the playoffs. Chris Conley, the receiver. And then I won't talk about the quarterbacks just because I'm trying not to, bring up the past and, dwell on something that's a done deal. But bottom line is I really felt like the Niners would probably sign him, and I think he would have signed with us. It's just the Jets made him a good deal.
Hey, I mean, shout out to Javon Kin. I'm glad he got that deal with the Jets. He deserved that one, and he has such an interesting story too, right? Like we all know, he was homeless before the draft and stuff. So I'm glad he got his money, even though I kind of wanted that. I think he was definitely replaceable though, and I like what the Niners have done. And just speaking of the overall depth, that's something I think even you probably were saying last offseason. Like a lot of people wanted Yannick Ngakoue and stuff last season. I was someone saying too, man, we need more depth, especially on the edge spot, I was saying. And I was like, that Austin Bryant move, I never liked it from the beginning anyways.
Right.
And that we saw it this year where the depth was lacking, and that's why guys weren't as fresh, and maybe that's why you had some of these injuries, two arms to two Javon Hargrave. So I think the Niners, John Lynch always does a good job of going after whatever was the weakness in attacking, and I think the Niners clearly have done that with the defensive line, but they do need to add at some other spots. I'd say they should go get another corner, definitely go get another safety. I think offensive line, they do that in the draft. It's just, if you look at it, all these offensive linemen are getting 18 million plus a year, and there was no way the Niners were going to do that. They already are paying a crazy amount to Trent Williams, and so I think the draft is where they're going to do it at, because they're going to have control with that player for at least 4 years.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I mean, the D line, you gotta like what we've done. I mean, basically, assumably, Chase Young's gone probably, but you never know. We might sign him back too. But Leonard Floyd pretty much replaces him. More production and more health. Then Malik Collins replaces Eric Armstead. You mentioned Yetur Gross Matos.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much to replace Clelin Ferrell. And I think that's an upgrade. He's a real good edge setter, good run stuffer. And, and so I mean, sad to see, I'd say sad to see Charlie Warner go, but I've been saying for a while, the 49ers need to get a tight end who can block and catch.
Yeah.
Because, Warner only blocks and Dwelly only catches. Matt Pryor going to the Bears, couldn't care less.
Ray McLeod of the Falcons, along with Charlie Warner.
Yeah, that's fine.
I really hope a guy that I would try to go after probably for replacing Ray McLeod, which might not entirely happen because Kyle Shanahan likes to have guys that can actually also play like receiver. But I like Jamal Agnew from the Jags. I know he's still out there.
Yeah, he's fast for sure. He definitely has some ball control issues when he plays offense, but yeah, as a returner, he's been good. Don't miss Isaiah Oliver at all. I'm glad he's gone.
Not one bit.
All right, how do you feel about Sam Darnold? Because I'm going on a show with some Vikings guys here at 3:30 in about an hour, and they want my opinion on Sam Darnold, but I'll give it in a sec. If you know me, you probably know it, but I'd be curious to know your opinion on Sam Darnold.
$10 million for Sam Darnold, man. He didn't play he played a little bit this year, but I don't see anything that he did to say he got better. $10 million, good for him, but just I don't know what the Vikings are thinking. If you're trying to re-sign Justin Jefferson, that's not the move you make there, man, because I don't think JJ's happy about that one.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think that's their move. I mean, 10 mil is not starter money. I think that's good backup money. I think that's what, or bridge quarterback money. Like they're going to draft somebody.
Interesting. It's we just got news to do with the Texans. Looks like Joe Mixon's signing a 3-year contract extension with the Texans.
Mixon. Oh, I see. After they
after they traded for him.
Now they extended him.
Yep.
They traded for him. Okay, interesting. All right, we'll go there. Randy says. So Rochelle says, "Don't forget to like and sub." Randy says, "I like when I hear something I like." Fair. Yeah, don't hit like on the show if you hate what we're saying.
I wanted to actually ask you a question. What did you think about the whole Kendricks thing, and who would you go after?
I wanted Levante David, but he's too rich. I've heard Isaiah Simmons' name going around. That makes some sense. I think it's going to be somebody older though. who isn't going to mind stepping aside when Dre comes back, assuming that Dre does come back.
See, I could see a guy like Devin White, even though I know some people might disagree, because the thing is, like, he hasn't looked that good. And yes, he'd be on the bench with the 49ers, but like when, Dre Greenlaw does come back, but I think he still have enough time to kind of show something. So I could see him maybe coming to the Niners and kind of taking that prove it deal. And then, you just
Who's that? Sorry, Anshul.
Devin White.
Oh yeah, Devin White, and he's not too old either. He's a fairly young guy.
Because he just hasn't really done that well, so I could definitely maybe see him.
Like, he's good against the run. He's just not a very good coverage guy. That would be my issue with him. That the Niners might not like. But Randy says he's driving home from Galt, so that's near Sacramento. I don't think I'm going to make it to the show. Well, we should be on for a while. Like I said, I have a 3:30 show to be, and I'd love a few minutes in between. But I could see us going till 3 or 3:15 if I'm not going to stretch it if it's not there, but if it is, we'll see. We'll see. Shell saying hi to Randy. Says it looks like Isaiah Oliver was good enough for Robert Saleh. Yeah. Well, how's Robert Saleh doing as a coach? But hey, no. And so was Kinlaw too. Kinlaw was good enough for Robert Saleh too. But I agree with Kinlaw. I wanted him. So, and like I said all along, Isaiah Oliver's real good at the line of scrimmage. He's good in run fit. You put a fast receiver in the slot and they're gone, and he's never going to catch him. Got McNew in the house. McNuevo, David McNiner.
David.
What up, Ted Nonshaw? What up? Nice to see you, sir. Shell and Randy having a love fest here. Good. Yeah, definitely come back. I mean, honestly, Shell, you didn't have to leave. We could have had 3 people up here. That's why I switched to this background, because then it doesn't get all distorted and we have 3, 4, or 5 folks. But if you want just one-on-one, that's fine too. I get it. No pressure. But I just want to make sure you knew you didn't have to leave. Like, if someone else comes up, Ancho can stay. It's just as people, I'm not really a stickler for much of anything. She said she feels VIP. Oh, please. I'm the one who feels VIP. It's good stuff. Boom, boom. Well, if you're driving, then you shouldn't be texting Randy.
Let's go to Raphael.
Got Brian Nielsen in the house saying hi. Welcome, Brian. Raphael in the house saying what's up, Ted, and Anshul, everyone. And, of course, we'll be Raphael. If you didn't say like and subscribe right after. Everybody's just saying hi, hi, hi. So, other moves. Let's see here. I mean, I think we've covered most of them. Well, no, not exactly. So, Sam Darnold. Wait. So it's 10 million. Yeah. I mean, I mean, you said Justin Jefferson, you don't think is happy. I don't think so either. I don't think their young receiver is going to be happy with it. I don't think Hawkinson's going to.
Addison.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and who was the one who did well against us when Justin Jefferson was out?
That was Addison, I think.
Addison, yeah. All right.
Yeah, and the rookie from USC.
I just misheard you when you said it. Yeah.
No worries.
Addison. Yeah, no, he's outstanding. We got Bryant Culp in the house. Let's bring him up.
Culp.
And hey, Bryant, how you doing?
Doing good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, hear you fine.
Awesome. Well, man, thanks again for having the call-in show. I really, it's a lot of fun getting to talk to you and, other people like Anshul and Red Jet. And,
Bryant.
It's always awesome.
Yeah,
so,
it's fun.
Ted, can I ask you a question?
No.
All right, well, I'll wait then. I'll wait. I'll get a good one. I'll get a real good one.
No. Help yourself. That's fine. I was just effing with you.
I know it. So, okay, so since this isn't a great question, it's a decent question. I'll save that great one for another day. But how do you feel about Kool-Aid? McAllister.
McKistery?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like just another in a long line of Bama corners, highly rated. And, I think I saw Crocky likes him. So, I mean, I'd say I'd trust Crocky more than me. But that'd be incredible, And I don't know if he plays nickel or, I guess we'd put him on the boundary and keep Lenore in the nickel. I don't know, but it'd be great to really go after a corner high in the draft now. But we would have to move up for him. I'm seeing him mocked. I have seen very few mocks, but I thought I saw him mocked in the low 20s, and we're obviously in the low 30s. So we'd have to do some work to get up there, wouldn't we?
So if we sit at 30, 31, do you see us picking up a lineman that's worthy?
Not a tackle, I don't think. I don't think that's the right place for a tackle. It seems like center or guard is what people are saying for that spot.
So since we haven't had a first-round pick and, like forever, right, and now we have one, do we know what to do with it? I almost think, just trading it away and, either getting something out of it by moving up in the draft to get either a tackle or a corner, or, hey, maybe trade back next year. But we haven't had a first round pick in so long. I don't think it's really going to affect us the way we look at this draft. I think truly it's going to be best player available. So if we stay at 31, I can see us getting somebody like that tackle from Washington, Troy, but that's if he falls to us.
That'd be cool. I mean, I'd love to be able to get a tackle.
Yeah.
I said all last off season and last season, I thought that our first round pick would go to a tackle, whether it was in the draft or even last year at the trade deadline, if McKivitz wasn't working out. So I could see that.
If we do draft a tackle, do you see them starting this year?
No.
Yeah.
Not week one. Maybe mid-season or late season, not week one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Barring an injury, or if they just come on quick, or they get football savvy and
yeah, I just think they would need at least part of the season to get their NFL man body built up.
Is there anybody in the draft that you see would be a potential first day starter as an offensive tackle for the Niners?
I don't know enough about it, honestly. I'm going to claim ignorance.
Okay. There's that one guy, I think his name is J.C. Trotter or
Latham?
Latham. Thank you. Yes. He's if we could get him, I think he's probably going to be the best one in the draft, but I don't think we're going to get a draft. I don't think we're going to get a tackle. What do you think, Anshul?
I mean, last year I thought the Niners weren't going to go safety with their pick in the first round, and they did. So I feel like anything could happen at this point. Now, it just depends, how much Adam Peters really was involved in these first round picks too, because obviously he's gone as well. So I think the whole draft, overall is going to be interesting, but because of how deep this tackle class is, they could honestly just go best player available. Like if it's a corner, I wouldn't be shocked if they went with a corner. But finally, I think we can say they aren't gonna go defensive line because they did that in the draft. And I know a lot of people said, oh, they want offensive line in free agency. There's a reason why they didn't do that, because you just look at what people have been getting paid. They're gonna be a lot cheaper in the draft. So I think that honestly, I could see them going guard more than tackle possibly, just because the tackles are going to fall off the board a lot more, even if they trade up a couple spots. And so I could see them going a guy that can play guard, center, and then maybe a tackle in the second round, just, again, because of how deep this class is supposed to be.
So with that mentality and that thought, because the defensive tackles aren't as prevalent in this draft, and it's like almost ever since we drafted Eric Armstead, 10, 11 years ago, we've been defensive tackle, defensive line almost every year, first round pick. We've missed it on a couple guys like Solomon Thomas, and he didn't do very well, but we always seem to go defensive line, regardless if Lynch was here or it doesn't matter who was here. Peters is here, so I don't know if that's necessarily their mentality. I think it might be the franchise picking. But again, if there's so many offensive tackles, then we're gonna wait. We might wait until undrafted free agency. If there's so many great offensive tackles, why waste a pick on one, right?
Well, I think depth means they're available later in the draft, but it doesn't mean they're as good.
Yeah.
So if you even had the first round pick this year and you drafted an offensive tackle, because we kind of just got done saying it, we're not going to be starting them this year unless they are really, really smart or catch on really fast, right? So it's almost a wasted pick at number one to draft an offensive tackle because we're going to be redshirting them this whole year.
Well, except for then they'll be ready next year when Trent Williams may not be.
But the thing is, I kind of disagree with that because I think it doesn't matter what position they end up drafting. I think they're gonna stick because if you just look at the last few years, that's basically what we've been
Do you
doing.
think they would sit a wide receiver? Especially with all the talks with Debo getting traded or Ayuk, and we got Jennings back, but there's Danny Gray. He's really been missing in action. We got Ray, who is a game player, but a game changer, right? A game maker. But we seen what he did in the Super Bowl. He was on a 2-year contract, so I would see if we did draft a wide receiver, they would potentially start, or even a linebacker at this point.
Well, and Ray's gone, so
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a receiver and let's say Debo or Ayuk are gone, I think so. That they probably would, because I mean, who else are you gonna? You don't have anyone else at receiver that's like really starting. Like, Ronnie Bell, I think would maybe be a guy you kind of just stick him with depth still, because I would think like if you trade also Debo or Ayuk, you're probably gonna spend that first round pick. On a receiver, so maybe they'd be more ready.
So here's a good question for you, Ted. Do you think the money that Armstead's going to make, because of taxes moving to Florida instead of playing with the 49ers for the remaining of his career, do you think that's going to outweigh the money that, you know what I'm getting at? Because it's like you're already here, you're going to potentially win a Super Bowl, or you're going to get this close, now you're packing up, you're leaving, you got to cost, you're buying a new house, moving everything, your foundation, you're going to start a new foundation in Florida soon because, you're not here in Elk Grove anymore. You're not here in Sacramento. So, forget about the kids, right? It's all about the money. So do you feel like Eric Armstead moving to Florida is going to be more of a lucrative decision for him in the long term? I mean, honestly, how many more years do you think the guy's really got left in him?
Well, I mean, we don't know what he was offered by the 49ers for starters. So, I mean, I think it's going to be more lucrative year one for him, even with all the moving costs and buying a house and everything, between the taxes and the delta between the 17 mil they're paying him, which is exactly what we were paying him before, and whatever our renegotiation number was, which we don't know, but let's assume it was at least $3, $4, $5 million less. I mean, you could buy a pretty nice pad in Florida for $3, $4, $5 million. And still, I don't think the foundation will go anywhere. He'll still be here in the off season, and
so if he's still going to be here in the off season, right? Then why leave the team, right? And then if it's only $3 or $4 million because they restructured Juice for only it was a little under $2 million to restructure Juice. Mm-hmm. So if he would have taken a pay cut and would have only been $3 or $4 million, how much money could he have made in endorsements and in taxes and all that good stuff just staying on a contender? So I think it's the writing's on the wall. He likes Trent Baalke, and he's going back with Trent Baalke.
Trent drafted him, so I mean he's the last of the Baalke bunch on the 49ers.
Kittle and Juszczyk.
No, Juszczyk was not drafted by us.
No. But I'm just saying they're the longest tenured Niners.
Right? Yeah, Kittle and Juice. Yeah. That's why I had a tweet about it. I said, no block, no rock, is the saying on the Niners, but it's really no block, no roster spot, man. Like nobody's been on the roster longer than our two best blockers.
I would not be shocked if Danny Gray's honestly cut this offseason.
I don't think he'll be cut, but this is his last chance. So wait, with Armstead here, look at it this way, Brian. What if he's already feeling like, hey, I took the hometown discount the first time when I took 17 mil instead of 21, like what DeForest Buckner got when he left. And so he's already counting every year he's been here, the $4 million that he's been deprived of because, and not that he necessarily could have got Defoe money. I don't think he could have, but he probably could have got more somewhere else than 17.
How are you being deprived when you're not on the field?
I mean,
We
it's
paid-
hard to
we
argue
paid
that he
you,
could have got
right?
17 more mil a year when he's coming off a 10 sack season in 2019. And he's in his prime compared to now. He's pretty much beat up, and I'm not gonna say washed, but he's definitely on the decline.
He hasn't come
Or appears
close
to
to
be.
that. Yeah, he hasn't come close to 2019 with the sacks and stuff.
So,
You know,
so clearly
it might have been his
he was
buddy on the
worth more
side of
than
him.
17 along the way. Then, if he's worth that now, at least one team thought he was worth it now. So maybe in his mind, he feels like he's been missing out all this time, so he's not going to miss out again on probably his last contract too, right? I mean, let's be honest. The plantar fasciitis, all this stuff. I don't think he'll play more than 3 years. So, I think that's really what it comes down to. And some of it's ego too, right? I mean, it's just like these guys, they it's like their self-worth is wrapped up in how much they make. So
that's right on, because if he hasn't been around for a while, he's been hurt. In his mind, he's worth something because he's taken a pay cut. But then in our minds, right, you haven't played every game that you were paid to play. You haven't been available. You cost us games because you were hurt, because you're so significant of a run stopper. You are a good player, but when you're not on the field, it doesn't help us because we're paying you so much. We can't afford to pay somebody closer to your level. So when you're not on the field, we are really taking a significant hit. So I kind of look at it like the Niners did him a favor for such a long time, putting up with his, hokey pokey. It's my left foot, it's my right foot. I got plantar fasciitis this week. Next week, it's my, you don't know which foot it was, at a certain point in the year. So I really appreciate what he did for the team. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, we should have kept Buckner. I already said that a long time ago. But, it is what it is. It's sad when we see players leave, but you can't keep everybody forever. We didn't keep Jerry Rice forever. We keep, Bill Romanowski, Joe Montana, Roger Craig. We can go down Frank Gore.
Ronnie Lott. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's fun. It's definitely fun.
That's what I was talking. I was talking a Green Bay Packer creator off the ledge, Goot, who came on before and after the Packers divisional round game against us, and she was bummed because for a minute, like, I thought, oh, you guys have the best backfield in the NFL with Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones, and then all of a sudden they shipped Aaron Jones off, and so I was just like, better a year too soon than a year too late. And he's definitely getting up there. He's a great running back, but he's definitely getting old, especially for a running back. So
I wanted to ask you two things. Well, first I wanted to shout out Philly Special Cards here.
This is a little spongy. He's on with platform 246 with Lawrence Jackson Jr. a lot.
He jumps on with all the 49er faithful. He says he's a Eagle fan, but he's a red and gold fan. He's a 49er fan, and he knows a lot about the Niners too, so he really can't deny it. And I have him on a lot as well, so he knows the love is there. But what's the deal with Devo going from 19 to 1? I know you had 19 problems, now you have 1 problem, or what's the deal? I mean, what do you think, Ted?
I mean, it's his number from college, from South Carolina. And he's going to have to pay a lot of money. There's a lot of 19 jerseys that he's going to have to pay his reparations on. But I guess he did the math, and, I guess it makes sense for him. I just hope he plays up to it. It's kind of like saying, like, I'm number one, if you ask me. And so, or like a lot of times people do it if they're number one overall or a first round draft pick. He was close to a first-round draft pick, but maybe 4 picks too late. I think he was at 36. So I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love all the trash talk. Although he did make it, count against the Eagles. He definitely talked his trash and he walked the walk against them for sure. But I don't love it.
Just weird.
But it's his decision, and if he wants to pay the money to do it, and no one else wants number one, or nobody else has the clout to get it like him, I'm not going to begrudge him too much on it.
This is a little weird. You can't go and change your, birth date. You can't go and change your social security number, like very easily, right? So just to go and change your number, I mean, what about all those kids that are going to be throwing their jerseys out to Goodwill and stuff like that? You got to think about the fan. I just don't know. Oh boy.
Can I
He's not
just
a
say
fan of it.
something about that comment from Randy?
Philly gets a P for poor.
No, they get a T for tampering.
Oh, for oh goodness, they should for Saquon Barkley. What a pickup by them, though. Holy smokes! Behind that O line.
I'm not surprised the Falcons also got caught for it though, because there are so many reports about them, like, oh, Kirk Cousins.
Well, yeah, and he bought a house there, and somebody's like, "Oh, well, that doesn't mean anything." I'm like, if you know Kirk Cousins, it does. That guy is very cheap, and he's not like going to just go buy. And also, like, I just, there's sort of a culture in Atlanta, and it's sort of like a hip hop culture, and it's very cool, and like Kirk Cousins is so damn far from that. Let's be honest, he is not cool. So I don't know. I just didn't see it as like a place where Kirk Cousins was like, oh, I'm gonna just randomly invest in a house in Atlanta. So who knows? You never know for sure. But when somebody told me that, I was like, I think it does mean something. But yeah,
I don't think necessarily your city really represents your players, because your players everyone's not from that area. A lot of these, teams are farms, just people from different areas and stuff. So it is funny that Kirk Cousins goes to a city prominently hip hop, as you want to say. But you got to think back, it wasn't that many years ago they had Chris Chandler. So I mean, just a couple of years after that, they get Michael Vick, and then Michael Vick was
he's like still driving like some conversion van from like the 90s or something, or the early 2000s. I don't know. He just his wife buys his clothes for him. He just doesn't seem like a guy who's just going to randomly buy a house in Atlanta for no reason. So when I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, he's a Falcon for sure. Little Spongy says his one problem is my team. Oh, Devo's. No, you guys were no problem.
He literally owns you guys. Like,
yeah, he owns.
Didn't he have like 3 or 4 touchdowns like in that Eagles game or something? Yeah.
Carcast in the house. He's saying
Carcast.
Feel free to come on in and join. I don't think I've ever streamed with Carcast before, so maybe I should repost the link since it's way up at the top. You can scroll up. It's probably easier for you than me. It says Saquon ain't doing squat the Eagles. They don't run the ball. Even younger, better Swift. So you think DeAndre Swift is better than Saquon Barkley? Interesting. DeAndre Swift was good last year for sure. He was definitely better than Miles Sanders. That's for damn sure.
I think the deal breaker, the draft, the pickup in this draft that we should have gotten, or at least Dallas didn't get it, and I hope you know where I'm going at after I said that. Henry is a Raven. I mean, like, gosh, now they really don't have to do anything. They can just hand him the ball, or my God, the Ravens might go straight to the Super Bowl next year because of that pickup. They truly might. And if they get Debo like they want, do they even pass the ball at all?
Yes, but not much. You're right, not much. We got Bottom Line Sports in the house. We took Kendricks from under you all. Well, enjoy that as you guys go one and done in the playoffs. This year, you can hang that banner. We got Kendricks. Hey.
Dude, I need to talk about that real quick. 'Cause, dude, when I saw that, right, I was like, okay, 3 a.m. we signed Eric Kendricks, right, when I wake up in the morning, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. And then, like, later in the afternoon, this was right after Kevin Givens signed, I see Adam Schefter tweets about it, and I'm like, okay, he's probably just putting an article out there, talking more about the signing. And then I just look at it, I'm like, Cowboys, what? He totally switched on us. I mean, good luck being first-round exits or even yeah.
I was messing with Cole's Cowboys, and he says Cowboys aren't making the playoffs. And so then I was going back and forth with him. If you don't have the Cowboys in the NFC playoffs, like, who do you got? And so I'm like, Niners, Eagles, Lions. I'm with Falcons as division winner because I think Kirk Cousins is better than, especially.
Oh, he'll walk through both of those, I think.
Baker got extended, and Carr is going to be coming off of his second season with the Saints. So you got to understand he's going to be better with the Saints. They got to understand. Hopefully, they'll be on the same playbook.
I don't trust Derek Carr, and that defense is starting to fall apart. That was their calling card. And then I got Green Bay. Absolutely, right. Maybe they unseat the Lions, but those two are the class of the NFC North, which is I think the class of the NFC now. The NFC North. Rams and us, but us division winners, Rams wild card, and then who was left? Commanders, you think?
I mean, it depends. I think Washington will be better, but it also depends who they get at quarterback and just how all those pieces are. But man, shout out to Adam Peters.
Yeah, they did some good work in free agency, no doubt about it.
So you don't think the Seahawks will be the second best team in our league? You think they're really taking a step back?
I just think the Rams already made the playoffs last year, and the Seahawks didn't.
It was only by a game, though.
Yeah, but
I think the
Rams
Seahawks
really bolstered their O-line, and that's like I was saying earlier to Shell. I'm like, I wish Kyle would learn from Sean McVay, because Sean McVay prioritizes that O-line, and they've got a really nice one now, and we really do not. Spongy was saying he'll hop on after some homework. Oh, real quick, want to call it Bebop Jones in the house.
Some Bebop.
Open up the checkbook, Judge. Come to us from Bethlehem, PA, where the Golden Gate Bridge was founded, or put together, or built, essentially. Not put together, but the pieces were built out of iron and steel. See here, Randy says you need to go ask your wife for permission to go on Bryant and David's Friday night show. Yes, it would require permission. In fact, if you guys have been wondering where No BS Ted has been, Ryan from No Border Sports is now working 8 to 5. And those are pretty much my streaming hours that I can commit to without asking permission from the home boss. Those are the hours I can commit to. So I gotta get an evening show with Ryan, and I'd love to do them with McNew and Bryant. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on for like 15 minutes, or so. Be able to ask you a bunch of questions, like if you really think Antarctica has a UFO underneath all that snow, or something that's not necessarily football. It gets everybody having a little bit more fun on Friday nights. But hey, Ted, I'm going to get going, but I do have one last question for you.
Yeah.
Is it red Kool-Aid or is it cherry Kool-Aid?
Interesting.
I say red Kool-Aid.
You say red Kool-Aid? Okay. So, is it purple or is it grape?
I say purple.
You say purple. Okay. So you're going with the color and not the flavor. Okay, cool. All right. The reason I ask is I'm going to be doing a pretty cool little video on the dynamics of Kool-Aid and Flavor Aid. And if you don't know, well, then you'll have to turn your notifications on and tune in. But yeah, I really want the Niners to go after Kool-Aid, and I think that's probably, if we can get him, that'd be awesome. But thank you again, Ted. Anshel, real quick, red Kool-Aid or cherry Kool-Aid?
Red.
Red, okay. And is it purple or is it grape?
Purple.
Okay. And again, folks, this will make sense later. But Ted, thank you again for having me on. It's always fun, and we'll be talking in the background. You'll be hearing from me. You have a great day, guys. Go Niners.
Sounds good, BC.
Yeah.
Take it easy, bud. Y'all won't be back. We have the Dak curse. I don't understand. I mean, Cowboys may not be back.
Dak hasn't even been extended. He got in trouble now.
Oh, he did.
You have to extend CeeDee Lamb, Parsons.
Brutal. No, Armstead signed today with the Jags. 3 years, 51, 17 mil a year with the Jags. So he is officially a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Which I think Malik Collins is the perfect replacement for that.
I think he'll be good. I think we're going to draft the defensive tackle. I didn't want to say it to Bryant, but 31 overall, I think there's some really good defensive tackle there.
Please no, Ted. Please.
I think that and guard.
That's the one thing is like we get so much, excitement and people good things about like our defensive line and Chris Kasurk, but for some reason we have to keep drafting still defensive line.
Bottom line sports, Kyle can't help but lose 10-point leads. He's a Doc Rivers of the NFL. There's some truth to that. I mean, I can't argue that, but I just will say it happens in the NFC Championship game or Super Bowl, which Cowboys haven't been to one of those this century. So enjoy your divisional exit if you even make it that far. Oh, hell, not the grape or red battle.
I just saw there's an interesting move. The Bills are signing Curtis Samuel.
Oh, nice. He's a good receiver. He's no Debo Samuel, but he's decent.
Yeah, I mean, they did need a new, I guess, guy because they lost, who was it, Gabriel Davis?
Yeah, they did lose Gabe Davis. Was that
the Jags? I think it was the Jags.
I wanted to say the Jags, but then I wanted to say the Bucks. I think it was the Bucks because they're losing Mike Evans. PSC.
No, because Mike Evans re-signed like before.
That's a Sponge, right? What's up, little Spongy?
Yo.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. It's first time on the show, so welcome. I know you've talked to a lot of Niners content creators, but it's our first time chatting live. So welcome to TED Talks Ball. And Eagles, yeah, congrats on Saquon Barkley. CJ Gardner-Johnson. You guys got Huff from the Jets, right? The defensive end. What else is going on with y'all? You guys got Zach Bond too, right? A linebacker?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. What about corner? Like Bradbury and Slay? It doesn't seem like they're getting it done. You guys lost your nickel too, right? What's his name?
Maddox.
Yeah, Avonte Maddox. He left, or he's a free agent.
Free agent, but
you guys might sign him.
They're looking to sign him back. Yes.
Yeah, that would be a smart signing. He's good.
Isn't he usually injured though? Often, at least that's what I've been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat a little bit. Crimson and Current. I like it, Randy. What about you, Spongy? Is it cherry Kool-Aid or red Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
McKinstry. You guys feel it? The Eagles fans want him too?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Reggie, did you ever watch the fourth season of Fargo? I didn't know there were 4 seasons of it. I guess it's a mini series as well as a movie. Y'all won't be back in Dak, and we have Dak Curse. I'm good at letting him go. Oh, interesting. So here's a Cowboys fan saying he's good with letting Dak go. My other Cowboys guy I know pretty well, Cole's Cowboys. He's like all mad at Jerry and the organization, and everything, but he like swears up and down that Dak is like top 5 or better. I just don't see it. I think Dak is a decent regular season quarterback, but come playoff time, he just doesn't.
He likes to step out of bounds.
Brutal. Let's see here. Back with Balky. Yeah. Trent Balky drafted Eric Armstead to the 49ers. Now he's back. Armstead's back with Balky in Jacksonville.
He got overpaid.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, he got exactly what he was making with us. And I thought he was overpaid with us. So watch that ish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we still got Malik Collins because, like, after the trade, I was like, oh, what are we gonna be doing? And then I see us sign like the guy again from Jordan Elliott, and I'm like, I don't know about that. I know he started, but I don't know about that. And then once I saw, we were turning for Malik Collins, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I knew when I saw the Jordan Elliott thing, I DM'd Mike, the guy who normally do shows with this time of day on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. And I was like, he's just depth, right? And he's like, yeah, good depth, but depth.
Because I also saw some of these Niners reporters saying that he could be starting, and I'm like, I hope not. I feel like they're gonna want to improve there. So
Kinlaw.
he went to the Jets.
I know.
That's a bummer. I
I'm
definitely
glad he got his
wanted
money
him.
though, man.
I
Money
wanted
though,
him.
man.
I wanted him back.
All right, I think I am gonna head out though, Ted.
No worries, Anshul.
Thanks
It's great
for
to
letting
see
me
you.
on.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by anytime. Looks like Randy and Jet Shell are like in Shogun. I remember that series from in the book from I was in 70s and 80s back when I was a little kid. So now it's the Shogun 2.0, if you will, I guess. Everybody's just saying hi. There we go. But yeah, so NFC East. Do you think the Commanders? They got Adam Peters from us. Do you think Did you think they did good things in free agency, Sponge?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so, do you think it's enough to make them the second best team in the NFC after the Eagles, NFC East after the Eagles?
It's tough with the Giants defense. The Giants defense is really good.
That's right, because they got Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, and they already had came on Thibodeau.
Kayvon.
Yeah, Thibodeau. Yeah, that's a hell of a D line, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it better than the Eagles D line now that you
No,
guys
no,
lost?
no, no, no.
Because you guys still have those two big defensive tackles from Georgia.
Oh yeah. Those kids are gonna go places.
And then has Hassan Reddick been signed anywhere?
He's not a free agent.
Oh, he's not. I thought he was. Interesting. Okay. And then obviously you got Huff. And didn't the older guy Barnett, he re-signed for one more year or something like that?
Texans. Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham.
Okay, not Barnett.
Oh, Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
He's back. Yeah.
Cool. So you're feeling pretty optimistic for 2024, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Really need to see the draft, though.
Yeah, obviously. How many draft picks do the Eagles have?
11.
Oh, just like us. Although I don't think we really have 11. I think one of them goes to the Commanders for Chase Young. So I think we have 10.
And you traded one. In the Malik Collins deal, right? Or was that next year?
I don't know. Yeah, it might have been this year. So it was a 7th round pick. So not exactly a showstopper.
You guys draft well in the 7th round.
Well, we drafted Juwan Jennings in the 7th round. And Brock Purdy in at the end, Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, you could say that. We dropped pretty well in the 5th round, too, because we got Kittle, Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga.
Y'all draft great running backs in the 3rd round.
No, we don't draft anybody in the 3rd round, period, except for Fred Warner. The entire time Kyle and Lynch have been here.
No. Sherman and TDP.
Yeah, they're both gone.
Eagles. EAGLES.
Good luck with them. You're not going to like what you see. But you got Saquon.
They're not gonna play, so.
There you go. Someone was asking about. Oh, yeah, the link's at the top, everybody, if anybody wants to join. But, mind your P's and Q's, Bottom Line Sports. I've never streamed with you or seen you stream. So, like all these other people, either I've streamed with them before or I've seen them with other people I know. I wouldn't mind giving Bottom Line Sports a chance. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, it's at the top, everybody.
You might have to resend it again.
And I can. Okay, I'll do it again. Here, hold on. Let's do it. There you go. I think that's right. Yeah. So do you think the Cowboys will make the playoffs, Sponge?
Mm-mm.
No. Do you agree?
Mm-mm.
Interesting. And did you hear the 7 I listed out of the NFC? Niners, Eagles, Lions, Falcons,
I
Packers,
say
Rams.
Commander. I say
Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I think wild card, right? You still have Eagles winning the division, right? Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think that I could see that. I personally still think until we see the Commanders actually do it, if I was betting, I would bet on the Cowboys over them, but we'll see. So speaking of the Cowboys, oh boy, this could get ugly. We got Cowboys and Eagles together. You guys be
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be ugly with each other.
I won't be ugly. I'm never ugly. I'm probably the most objective Cowboy fan you'll ever meet.
Oh, okay. There you go. We got CarCast here too. I've never streamed CarCast before. This is a good treat.
Yeah.
But welcome everybody. And
my name's Flo from the Bottom Line Sports.
Flo, nice. In fact, let me see. You're probably on there if I just get rid of the chat. There we go. Flo from the Bottom Line Sports. We got CarCast.
Yo.
Little Sponge.
What up, man?
Well,
hey, I watch you during the year sometimes when I can. It's interesting. I like talking to other sports fans and seeing what their take is on their team, on my team, on whatever. So, yeah, we got a little sports show we do. I think we got another Cowboy fan, a Raiders fan, and a Broncos fan on our show. There's 4 of us usually. Yeah. We have fun. We have fun with it. All in good fun, right?
Yeah, well, Raiders. I feel bad for the Raiders. They thought Jimmy G was gonna come and be what he was with us, and I was like, no, he's gonna fall on his face, folks.
Yeah.
Turns out Kyle and all our weapons and the scheme, it does matter. It makes a big.
Well, yeah, of course it matters. It matters with Purdy. You send Purdy somewhere else, he's not the same guy.
No, I mean he's a lot better than Jimmy G, but yeah,
he's better than Jimmy G. Not a lot better, but he's better. Yeah.
Well, definitely more mobile. He just doesn't make as many dumb mistakes. So
yeah, he definitely hasn't made. Well, you know what? He's gotten away with a lot. If you look at the film, he's thrown some dumb balls that haven't got picked off.
I said that.
Yeah.
At one point in the season, in the 2023 season, Rock had 4 interceptable balls thrown and none caught.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, I'm like,
yeah, he makes some
even out over time.
He makes some yikes throws that he's gotten away with. So hopefully he cleans that up because next year those always go the other way around. Those always end up turning around.
Yeah,
it's like they did with the Eagles.
It tends to even out.
Yeah, this year the Eagles, all those turnovers they didn't last.
I don't want to talk about it.
They had so many. Jalen Hurts had so many turnovers, and that's the real question for the Eagles: is Jalen Hurts is he the bad kind of subpar the 2 years he had, or is he the Super Bowl Jalen Hurts? I think the jury's still out on him.
Dak sucks.
Okay. Hey, at least I had something objective to say.
There you go. No, I like it. And like I was saying with that thing with Purdy, when he had 4 interceptable balls and none caught,
right?
You looked at Stafford had thrown 3 interceptable balls and had 2 and had 5 caught. And it's like, holy smokes! Like, where your receiver pops it up and somebody intercepts on a tip drill, like that shouldn't go against the quarterback.
Yeah, every team has to have the ball bounce their way at some point during the season, right? It has to either not get intercepted or you fumble and you recover. I mean, every year you have to have a little bit of luck into it, a little bit of the ball bounces your way. And the Eagles didn't have that last year, and it bit him in the butt. And I think that Purdy, if he doesn't clean it up, he may have that this coming year, kind of bite him, and if he doesn't clean it up.
Well, just remember that Purdy still hasn't had a full off season as a starter yet. So he was doing a lot of rehab last year. So
okay. That's fair.
I mean, I don't think he'll have a leap like he had between 2022 and 2023, but I could still see room for improvement as he gets to know our weapons better.
Well, because every quarterback, you can always take their best season and their worst season and throw them out, and then whatever is in between, that's usually what they are. So we'll have to see what Purdy is. Is he more than what he was last year, or what is he? We don't know because he had a really great season. Is that who he really is, though? Jalen Hurts, same thing. He had a really great season when they went to the Super Bowl, but his other 2 years are subpar. So
Well, but the year before, did he have AJ Brown? Not the whole year, right? They got him.
It also comes
not
with the
the whole
coaching.
yeah. Well, I mean, the coaching could have something to do with it.
Absolutely, Shane Steichen. Losing Shane Steichen is
They didn't
part
run
of
the
it.
ball
Right.
enough. It was all on Jalen
True.
Hurts.
Yeah,
Like,
they
Swift
definitely they
was
run him
so
too much.
Swift was so misused in Philadelphia. It was crazy.
Yeah, you definitely didn't run enough. And Jalen Hurts, to be fair, I mean, he just didn't look comfortable. He never looked comfortable, and that could be the offensive coordinator you guys lost. He never looked comfortable out there. He never looked like he really was. Whatever the offense plays were, whatever the schemes were, he just never looked comfortable out there. And then, of course, the turnovers kind of showed.
Their defense was not the same from 2 years ago
The
because they had
defense was horrible.
the
Yeah,
70
your
sack
secondary.
season, the Philly
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
You know, but
But you have the same. You had most of the same players, and someone would say you upgraded because you got the rookie from Georgia, and he should have
yeah,
been.
but their secondary couldn't hold their own. So
No, the secondary is terrible, but you haven't really addressed that,
yeah.
have you? I don't feel like you guys have addressed the
nah, they
secondary.
just let go of Byard. I don't know what else they did.
Yeah, that's where you should focus your.
This-
I mean,
They re-signed
separate.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who was a free agent.
Okay,
CJ, but their corners suck dog water.
Yeah, I mean Bradbury's washed.
Slay
Yeah.
is washed too. Sorry.
some other Eagles fans said he had some guys on the bench that were young that didn't get enough playing time that was going to kind of make up the difference. I don't know who they were, but he mentioned them. I didn't know who they were. But
Oh, well, there was the Brian guy, the nickel corner was.
yeah, they said there was two corners that didn't get a lot of playing time because they were young and they didn't want to pull the veterans. But I don't know.
Yeah,
He said he believes in those young guys apparently. So, but that's just another Eagles fan I heard from. But I just don't remember the names.
Randy said Purdy was the exact same player in 2 different years. Absolutely not. Purdy threw a way better deep ball in 2023, and he had a lot more runs where he put it this way against the Lions. They played too high safety and they spied him. So that just shows right there. That was not
The Lions kind of gave that game away, though, don't you think?
The 4th downs.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
gave that away. I mean, they should have won that game.
He just stayed true to himself.
That was bad coaching.
No, I mean, I remember.
Yeah,
when I scored on the first one, I was like, it's weird. I feel more confident stopping them on 4th and 2 than I did on 3rd and 13.
right. I mean, they had y'all. You had y'all on the ropes, and they gave that game away. And then that 4th down, that last 4th down before you guys scored, I think they should have kicked that field goal and been up by 2 scores. And then at that point, they have the advantage because you're 2 scores down. But they went for a 4th down, didn't get it, and then you guys scored, and then they just kind of fell apart from there.
Tony wants to know, will Trey Lance beat out Cooper Rush?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, if Trey Lance was going to show something, he would have shown it by now. That's how I feel about Trey. But I don't know.
In
Did he
4
get
games? Come on.
I'm just saying he's been in training two training camps. I mean, you get to.
He
see
was
it.
great in training camp last year too. Let me tell you, he was our best.
Was he?
QB.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't
I was
know.
there all 9 open practices, and he was.
Oh, okay.
He was good. He threw the
That's
most.
fair.
Well, Purdy was terrible. Honestly, Purdy was like throwing interceptions, pick sixes. Every deep ball was short or long. And granted, he was just coming off that UCL surgery, but
What do you think? Do you think he has a chance to be the backup there, or maybe even push Dak a little?
yeah, I mean, if Dak
Okay.
keeps struggling in the playoffs, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I was a big Trey Lance guy. I wanted him here because I wanted a guy who could force 2 high safeties and force one of the guys left in the box to spy. But it looks
Right.
like Purdy's doing that. So if Purdy can do that, then I'm cool. Yeah, I mean, I just think he hasn't been given a chance personally.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Brandon
mean that's
Aubrey,
true
Tony
too.
Pollard. How do you
Brian?
feel about Tony Pollard?
We'll see that. Tony Pollard, I think he wasn't the same guy after the injury to me. He lost, and maybe he just needed another year to fully heal because after you come off an injury like that, sometimes it takes you a full year to kind of
He's
get back.
definitely not a workhorse like Zeke was. He's a much smaller back.
He's smaller. I think he works better in the 2-back system.
So
I
that's
mean,
why,
I don't
like,
know what
Deuce-
Tennessee's going to run.
That's why like Deuce Vaughn and other guys have to step in.
I don't know if he can. I don't know. Deuce is kind of small, so that scares me. But he's really compact. But we'll see what happens. I think Jerry's going to have. Jerry has somebody in the draft that he wants to draft. I think, as a running back, he for the most part he drafts really well. But he this doesn't surprise me, the free agency, because he likes to draft and develop. That's what he does. That's his thing. And for the most part, he drafts pretty well. He just needs to stay out of the rest of the football team, coaching and personnel moves. If he would just draft and run the team, I'd be fine with that. But he just gets too involved in the other stuff. But yeah, he drafts really well. So I think he has a running back in mind. That's why he hasn't signed anybody. He may sign a veteran. I don't know, but I think he has some running back first, second round that he wants.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's not that guy like, when Saquon came out or some of these, Bijan last year. There's not that guy that's obviously the number one guy, but I think he's got an eye on. That's sort of my personal opinion. He's eyeing somebody in the draft that he wants to pick early rounds. That's going to be the guy for him.
Right on. Well, fellas, I do have another show I have to run off to at 3:30. We should probably cut things short. But Flo, if you're on Twitter X, at TedH6, send me a DM.
Okay.
Do a full show sometime. Carcast you too, bud. I mean,
yeah, I'd love to have you on my show too, Ted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Likewise, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Happy to do it either way. And
sounds
we'll
good.
do it so we can dual stream. So
yeah, that'd be great.
Or I think I set it up that way. Yeah, you guys are streaming. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I started late. I didn't realize I hit the button. So, but no, it's great. I enjoy your show. I enjoy going back and forth with you and the guys that you bring on, all the 49er fans usually. And it's fun. I always enjoy going back and forth with it. Little friendly rivalry, friendly jabs back and forth. So, yeah.
There you go. Well, enjoy your Kendricks.
Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you letting me on the show.
No problem. I'll just say peace and go night.
Yep. Go
Cowboys. Go Cowboys.